Guys, so wanted to do a little update video on what I've gotten done. So the past couple days I've been focusing heavily on the login functionality. So that's what I've gone ahead and done. So I'm gonna demo that for you guys. But first, I kind of want to show you what all will be happening as I am typing. So I have a user in the database, his name is Alex, and then the password is just password. And when I click submit, that is going to prompt this, I guess, yes, this login service, the login user, and that's right here. And so it's going to take the data, and I have this thing, an observable HTTP response. That's going to help me to get the status. So if the status is 200, that means that you've had a successful login, and it's going to route you to the home. I don't have a dedicated home for each user. I still also need to figure out how to, I mean, then again, I don't have that many games in my database yet. But what I do want for the home is I want it to recommend you games that you've rated or liked based on like genre. So that's what I want the home to look like. But I guess you could say that this home is like for new user, and it will be updated like as you rate games. Anyways, so yeah, it's gonna the login function. This is what happens when you click that login button, or the submit, I guess. I can show you in my HTML file. Okay. So, as you know, we have a form, and then on ng submit, this is just an Angular submit. These are pretty cool. I've only used like regular buttons, but here all you have to do is just set the button and then what form it's for. And so here our form, the ID is ng form. So when you click the submit button, it's gonna just do this login function. So what's happening in this login function? So it's getting, first we have to get the username and password. I showed that in the last video, but that is from these little tags, uname and pass. So that's going to allow us to view what those values are. And so here we get those values, and then I have this statement for preventing like a blank scenario, like where you just don't enter anything. Because funny enough, I think my create user doesn't have this because I looked and there's a blank user. It's just there's nothing for the username and nothing for the password, and it was allowed to be submitted. So I have to fix that. Anyways, so that's how I went about that. I know that regular HTML forms or just buttons, submit buttons, or it might be inputs. I haven't worked with it in a while, but there's an event handler where you can just prevent default, but I couldn't figure out how to do that for ng forms, for Angular forms. So I went with this instead. So I just have some logs for myself. They won't be in there once it's like, I don't want to say fully released, but when it's fully, done, I'll try to clean it up. However, so it calls that service from the back that we looked at. I'll pull it up again real quick. So we have the service here, login user, and what this login user does is first it needs the API key, so it gets that from this URL, and it's going to observe the response, and that's how we get this. That's how we see what the status is. Um, so yeah, it's going to return a post request to this login URL, and that's just here, I'll show you. Here we go. So we have a post request to login, and yeah. So I have a bunch of query statements. I can go through them. So here we're selecting the password from the user where the username has been entered. So in this case, it'd be giving us the password from Alex. And here's a statement. If there's nothing or if it's empty, then it's invalid. And here is where we're comparing the passwords to make sure that it's verified. So if you look here, this is the matching. So right here, I have a variable called match, and it's using the bcrypt library to compare the password hashed, which is the password that the user entered right here from the body, and the password that's in our database that we selected right here. So that's what that is. See, from our result. And if it matches, this is I logged the match just to be sure, but here we see it's true. And then if match is true, then we select the user ID username from the users table, where username equals whatever username we entered. So this is going to get the ID and the username. And the reason we're doing this is because we are going to store the user ID and username into a token, a JWT token. So that's another thing I wanted to show you. I guess I haven't logged in. So I'm going to click it, and then here it's just a pop-up. I don't know why it does that. But here I can go into cookies and see we have a token. This is a JWT token. And I can show you what is in here and what I want to use it for. Yeah, I'm not gonna get the secret. I have it in my .env, but as you can see, it has the ID and the name, the username. So that's really what's important. And then like there's like created and expiring. But this is like what we want. This is gonna allow us to see, or not to see, to yeah, I guess to see if the user logged in, and just to auto log them in. So yes, and so we set the cookie as a header, and then the token, which our token was, let me go back here, the value. It's token equals and then the value. So yeah, and then if I go back, what else can I show? So it's gonna route you back to home, and I added the router to my login service constructor to be able to do that. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So like I said, if we look here, I want to be able to log in using a cookie. So I created this issue. That's what I'll probably be working on. So I'll probably need to create another service called cookie service to be able to get that. But for now, I just wanted to show the login working It just goes to home, the home page. Again, like even if you don't log in, you can still just go to home. So there's no authentication. That's another thing I want to make sure that you do. So again, that could be done with the cookie. So yeah, once you log in, submit, it's generated. So it's pretty cool. Next step is authentication, making sure you don't get past the login page without, logging in. Because if someone has access to all the routes, they can just go wherever they want. So they need to be protected. And I'm already sort of on that. Like there's certain things you can't access without the token. So here you see I have an authenticate token, and that's in my auth file, auth.js. So this this just verifies that you have a token. And yeah, so I haven't added it to any of my game routes. So I would want to, right now it's just using, the whole router is using the API key, but I would want to do like what I did here and just do that with the authenticate token. But yeah, that's what I've got so far. So I just wanted to make this little video real quick.